I think to the point of, Dan, I think to the point of whether or not, the idea of whether or not he's going to go on a run now, all that sort of stuff. I would start him against Lille. I'd have started him against Lille anyway. I think that we need to sort of reset a teeny little bit there to allow for the idea that Jota can play there, but also to allow to be able to rotate at left wing. We're in the situation at the minute where every single game, we're not actually freshening up left wing that much. So the idea that if we can get a bit of a run where maybe Jota's the senior partner at number 9, Núñez is the junior one, with the run of games we've got playing every 3 or 4 days, and then that allows you to have options elsewhere. I'm into that, and I'd have wanted that anyway, but now I would start him at Lille. And if he does score against Lille, I would consider starting him against Ipswich, and then maybe say it's a bit of all bets are off for the game against Tottenham in the second leg of the League Cup, and he goes where he wants there. My point is as well, I agree with you on don't expect him to go on a run now, but he doesn't score that second the way in which he scores it if he hasn't scored the first.
Oh, 100%. Like as soon as Elliott picked the ball up and we were on the attack and they didn't have many back, it wasn't just Liverpool are going to score, it was Núñez who's going to score here. Like 100%. Yeah. And the finish is a sort of I'm just going to score finish. Like it's not really placed, it's just leathered past him faster than he can react. You're absolutely spot on. And like the Newcastle goal when he came and scored 2, and we needed the 2 in that scenario. Exactly the same. He wouldn't score the second if he hadn't have scored the first. I think sometimes he is just able to go, like the endorphins almost sort of carry him to the peak version of himself, and therefore in the immediate aftermath he's able to do that.
So how do you manage that?
That's also why he should have been sent off then as well. Absolutely mad that way in a booking. It was the most blatant booking I think I've ever seen, and the manager's face was terrific when he panned to him, the little slow-mo like puff of the cheeks, like what on earth has he done? Really, really
so
funny.
How do you manage that? Because that's the key
I don't think you can.
So do you think this is almost the problem? Like he almost wants it too much all the time?
I think you just have to react to him and how he seems in the moment, and hope that it's more positive than negative, and that when he is forcing it, he forces it in the way that's useful, and people are able to spin off him and all of that kind of thing. I don't think you're able to control the way that he plays or how effective he is, because I don't think he can do that. So if he can't, if he when what was it recently, when was it United when he put that mad challenge in on De Ligt that just bought them some time, and he got himself booked completely needlessly. Like he was the substitute that had come on there, and it was meant to be right. You're meant to be more likely to help us score a goal. You've got to make really smart decisions, good runs, and he came on and he wasn't smart one bit, and he didn't really help.
I thought he was playing well until that point. He did that, and then he knew he got himself suspended. When probably the one thing the manager or the coaching staff had said to him was, "Do us a favour, don't get a yellow card here. This is the last game." And then he gets himself booked, and then I thought he just disappeared out the game. Then, and this is back to being in his head.
But you can explain that to him. Don't get yourself booked under any circumstance. And and he might pay attention to it in the moment, but then I think it can just go, because I think chemical reactions happen as stuff happens on the pitch, and the thought process goes. But that means then that the thought process goes for the second goal, because it's just I'm absolutely buzzing and I feel invincible, and therefore the ball gets lashed in the corner. So if he can use that, because I don't think you can plan for it as his teammates or as his manager, then great, and that makes him immeasurably more helpful. But I think it just has to be reactive in individual scenarios in matches, and that's why therefore there can be, in theory, a series of really important moments that he's at the fulcrum of, as opposed to necessarily you start every week and you're really important for the shape,
or you're going to score into the next 6.
Exactly, yeah.
It's worth noting, I think, that if Núñez goes this summer, we will all say that overall it hasn't gone how we hoped or how we expected. However, if we win this league by between 7+ points, I would say at this point, you have to look back at yesterday and what Darwin Núñez did as the moment which won us the league, and he gets to go away from Liverpool with that under his belt, with that experience, with that on his CV. That was the moment which won us the game, got us out of a run of tricky form. Obviously, hopefully that is us out of a run of tricky form now, and which probably turned the Emirates atmosphere on its head when it went back to 2-1. It's such a sliding doors moment. I think it's going to have such a knock-on effect on this league, and we will all trace it back to this moment if we do go on to win it.